So one of the things that the last couple of months and weeks I've been, really hoping for it to come out is the Warhammer 40K show. I've been waiting a very long time for it to come out. Over the last, I would say like 6 years, maybe a little bit more, I've been kind of slowly getting to Warhammer 40K. Right when I first heard about it, I think it was right before Gilliman came through. With a big, setting shaper basically, right, and from there, I slowly got into it, right? I was watching a lot of the lores. I was watching people talk about, the different armies. So when Amazon announced the show, a show of it, I was really happy because at that time, I wasn't really playing any of the Warhammer games, whether that be fantasy or 40K. I am slowly getting into the models. I do have a Tyrannus star set. I'm not really gonna play the game, but I like to do models in general, right? I like models. I love gunpla. I love all that kind of stuff. So, and I read one book already, the Krieg book, which I want to talk about one day, and and I'm planning to get a set of book trilogy omnibus of different parts of the lore. Mainly the one where Gilliman comes back. The Dante book. I heard the Night Lord books are really good. Just stuff like that, Kaifa Kane, and things like that. I will enjoy. Um, but the last couple of months, it looks like it may or may not happen just due to a lot of differences. Now, it was announced that the show may not be happening because of things between the creator of Warhammer Game Workshop and Chris was it Henry Cavill. I think I said his name wrong or backward. And Amazon, there's been a lot of conflict, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, I think it was like around early spring, we had a whole problem about female spacemen, not female spacemen, female custodians, right? And how that made a whole big problem, right? Now, again, I may not be the most lore savvy, but I'm pretty like I already know that like that couldn't happen because the lore very much state it can't, right? It state that it can't happen. Same thing for female space marine. Like I don't care if you have like a fanfic or you have a custom model of, like I don't care, right? You can do whatever you want with that. Like at that point, it's like you pay for you pay for that, crack plastic. But like you wanting to be in lore, it's a little ridiculous at that point, right? Because the lore is so established that at this point you would have to retcon everything. And it's not like Game Workshop hasn't done that, but not to the extent that it's gonna literally shake the whole lore. And that was a major uproar, right? Now, as I said, I like Warhammer a lot. I like the lore, but I'm like not the most, I'm not like a genuine true fan. I'm somebody that is slowly getting into it over a period of time, right? And I feel like the people who wanted the female space marines and the female space custodians are just people who they just want a coon, right? They just want a coon, right? It's not about actual like female empowerment or anything. Because if that was the case, we got the Sister of Silence and oh my god, that's his sororitas, Sister Battles. God, I am so stupid right now, but we got that going. Why don't you expand the lore on that? And it clearly that it's not from Game Workshop. It's probably mostly from Amazon, right? As a way to gain more of an audience. And I'm like, I'm not saying females don't want to get into Warhammer, right? If they see a strong, like, no, what then is going to happen is a small audience are going to see that, and then they're going to watch the show, and that's about it. And even then, they may just only skip part of the show. That's to see the female space marine. Or they may they may talk about it, but not actually care, right? Or those who, like, who've been doing the series for a year on will be like, well, no, you can't just do that. Where we have all these other characters or all these other factions that who have females in there. There is two factions within, well, not two factions, but you know what I mean, right? There are two major factions that are female dominant within the Imperium. Wow, my brain's so slow today. Sorry for that, but that's what I'm implying. And I think, like I said, I think it comes down to people want a coom more than they actually care about lore and a way to, like, it's like a weird fetishization. And I think because of that, of creative differences and creative guidelines, right? Within, between Game Workshop, Cavis, and Amazon, that's what's gonna lead. And a lot of people are scared that because of, I think, Amazon interfering with the lore, because has more money than Game Workshop. If Amazon really wanted to, they can buy Game Workshop right then and there. They can buy all the rights they could. But they don't, because that's probably wouldn't be a good idea on their end. But if they could, they want to. And I think in a way, them having the show is a way of them forcing these people to bend to their whim. And so that's what I see. And I think because of that, because of all these differences, especially because Kevin is a big Warhammer fan, he's a big nerd, so I can imagine him arguing why this can't happen. They have all these people in the office all arguing, fighting about it, and Kevin is probably not bending to the knee, because without him, no, like, I'm not saying people won't watch the show, but with him, there's a guarantee that people who are Warhammer fans will go there and watch it. Those who are a fan of Henry Cavill and think he's done will go watch. And people who are mildly, like they're interested, oh, there's a recognizable name who is a nerd, they will go watch it for him. But I think if he leaves, that's it. The show is done and over. And that would suck. And going back to 4chan post that they, like, was it a couple weeks ago, there was a 4chan leak talking about it, and I think as time goes on, that is becoming more and more true. You saw what a lot of the things he was involved with, they just changed everything up. I know about The Witcher. Now, I will admit, I've not played The Witcher, I've not read the books, I should. But we're seeing this, and I don't know if the show's gonna happen, and I hope it does. But I feel like it's less likely as days go on, and we'll wait and see. But that's all I really wanted to cover, because it's caught my interest. Because again, I've been waiting for the show to come out, and it has not. And I think as time goes on, I'm losing more hope. And if Catfish does leave, that's the end of it, everything. And I think we can go back and look at why, right? Because people want to interfere with something they probably are not a big fan of to begin with, and they're like, oh, well, why don't we do this to make profit? And in the end, no one wins, and everybody gets pissed off. And so, um, yeah, that's really all it is. I hope everybody have a good day.